Welcome everyone. My name is Ann Deidre and this is the Intuitive Millionaire Coach Show, and this is my husband Dean.
Hello everyone.
And we've got Kelly standing by on the air, and I want to wish everyone an early Valentine's Day, whether you have a Valentine or not. I believe that we are always our own Valentine, and one of the greatest lessons I believe while we're on the planet is to learn to love ourselves. So I hope that your Valentine's Day is everything and more, because you deserve it. So welcome, Kelly.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm going to start out, let everybody know, if you haven't watched this show before, my name is Ann Deidre. I call myself the Intuitive Millionaire Coach because I've discovered that I have the wealth of intuition within me. When I access my intuition, I'm able to get good advice for myself, for my life, for my career, for feeling healthy and feeling happy, all because I'm able to tune into my intuition. So I've created a career out of using my intuition, writing books, creating oracle cards, and I'm an intuitive life coach where I coach other people. I use intuition to be able to guide them for their highest good, if you will, for their career, love life, finances, whatever it is. Intuition really covers it all. So Kelly, welcome. We had a really good talk last week. If you want to fill us in, tell me what's been going on. You had a date last week, so anything you want to share about how things are going, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, so it was a pretty good week. I guess our call last week brought up a bunch of stuff that I kind of was dealing with and thinking about.
Yeah, maybe not good to have a date right after our call.
I know. Well, I mean, that actually was the perfect time because I was kind of on like cloud nine at that point.
Oh, good.
So I just
seeing everything.
Floated through. Yeah.
Right.
So, but I mean, in terms of with Adam, it's still the frustrating. I don't know. I guess it's mainly me. I'm finding like I'm pretty anxious about it and having a good amount of anxiety. And other than that, I don't know.
Anxiety. Okay, we'll work on this. I've got a couple of ideas today.
Okay.
It's the Valentine's show, perfect love life
yeah.
show. I do have a date. Well, we'll see. Has he asked you to go out yet for Valentine's?
No, and I highly doubt that he will.
Stressful. Oh. Oh boy. You know you don't even want me to start talking right now about this, do you?
No, it's fine. And honestly, I mean, it's fine. And last week it was good because it did help me to realize, like, okay, so what am I doing? Why am I putting myself through this? And so I did start to lose a little bit of respect for him, and I did start to pull away a little bit. And then I was like, I kind of had made up my mind. I was like, okay, I'm gonna, I don't know, just do my thing. I'm not even gonna worry about it. But then it was just yesterday. Then I saw him at work, and we started talking, and we just started chatting. And I walked away, and I was like, oh, that's why I can't just walk away, because I really genuinely do like him, you know. So then I've been acting like a little schoolgirl ever since then, unfortunately.
It's like a crush. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they also call that infatuation. I think they call it that for a reason.
Right.
Right? You see?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, well, that's just what came to me. Let me say my prayer. That always helps. So you don't just get my opinion.
Okay.
As good as it is, let's call in the higher selves and the guides. Okay. So I'm going to call in your higher divine self, my higher divine self. I'm going to invite the masters of light, the entire hierarchy of light, to be with us. I'm going to ask for the highest good to come through, highest investment you can ever imagine. Thank you, protected space of a clear and pure channel today for Kelly while we share. Thank you, God. Amen. Okay, so I'd like to tell you, as an intuitive, if you've heard of psychic work of that sort, there's a lot of different ways to get information psychically. I prefer to say a prayer so that I'm tuning into the highest realms so that I can get the best information for myself and my clients. Okay, so something came up for thinking about going over with you, a couple of ideas. we talked last week a little bit about your last relationship, and you were married, you were officially married and had a divorce, correct?
Right.
Okay. So I was thinking about maybe working on that a little bit, because it is a good, before Valentine's Day, to get your love, well center, heart chakra cleared out a little more. I think next week we'll go into the will, where you feel powerful and that you are not feeling helpless and powerless in your life, which I feel when you're talking about this guy that he's holding all the cards and the keys and the decision maker. And that dynamic will only last for so long, and you're too strong a person to be able to sustain that. That's really not your thing. Would you agree?
No, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Equal. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go in and go into the heart chakra, and right now I'm going to actually call on Archangel Raphael to be with us. The heart chakra is located right at the heart center. I'm going to describe some of the qualities of this center, and when I'm done talking, I want you to tell me anything that comes to mind, particularly around your marriage, and so we can work on some healing with that. So when it comes to the love well center, as I call it, this has to do with giving and receiving love. And I'm going to let everybody know, if you haven't watched this show before, when I close my eyes, I'm asking questions and I receive answers from, we have a higher self, and Kelly has a higher self, and I've invited the hierarchy of light to be with us, all kinds of archangels, guides, and masters, so that when I close my eyes, I get a whole bunch of information, and it's just easier for me to receive it that way. I can hear it and know it and feel it, all different all different intuitive channels. Okay, so think about your marriage and this relationship and giving and receiving love. I also want you to think about, as far back as you can remember in your childhood, being able to express love and receive love, and what comes up for you around heartbreak, sadness, loss that you've experienced.
Well, okay, going back, Braden was I was with him for maybe, I think it was 7 or so years total, and he really was my one relationship. I mean, I dated a few guys in high school for maybe 3 months was the most, but and I probably broke it off a couple of times, but a couple of the times the guys, kind of crushed me. So I'm pretty sensitive to those sorts of things, and for some reason I take heartbreak kind of, I don't know, harder. I don't know than other people, but I know I do take it pretty hard.
Yeah.
And in terms of the giving and receiving, the first thing that came to my mind was with my marriage, and there was definitely an imbalance of giving and receiving, where I was doing the majority of the giving and and caring and loving, and he just kind of took it and didn't give very much back. Even the love part, I still am not 100% convinced that he was even in love with me.
How did he propose? Something's coming up about the proposal. Did you feel?
Well, we were pregnant first, and actually a little kind of broken up when that happened, and then we decided, but we broke up and got back together like a bunch of times within that time period. So then we just decided that the right thing to do would be to get married.
Wasn't like an official proposal, right?
No, yeah, definitely not. Even when we got the ring. Yeah, even when we got the ring, I picked it out, and then he kind of handed it to me.
I know, I got that. I was like, there it is, right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, things start earlier than that, so I want to go back to film. We'll get back to that, but that just popped in and said ask her about the proposal or lack thereof. So
Yeah.
When you were talking about going out with the guys for maybe 3 months and then feeling crushed, thinking about a pattern of maybe infatuation, because I think I want to look up that word. You know, you work with me, I get words. But would you consider, tell me more about these really short relationships that you had before your marriage, but you ended up feeling crushed about. Tell me more about that.
Right. Well, I mean, the two that were meant the most to me, the first one was this guy that I had a huge crush on before, and who was 2 years older than me. Like, I never talked to him, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, he called me, and we started hanging out and dating or whatever. So that definitely was an infatuation. And then it ended up, he just was going off to college and didn't really want anything, you know, didn't want to be in a relationship, which makes sense, but I don't know, I took that pretty hard. And then the second one was, I mean, it was the same thing. I saw him at college, and I thought he was so cute, so I had a big crush on him, and then we started hanging out, and then he just didn't want a relationship, and so he broke up with me.
Okay. Now, I'm going to work a little bit on this word infatuation came up again, and we're going to talk about this because one of the things you wrote to me about with the client profile, you wanted to figure out why you have so many relationship issues and how to move past them, right?
Yes.
So we've talked about a few of them in the past few weeks, past few sessions. Not going to recall all of them right now, but you feel like we've already begun to cover some of what's been happening, right? So you have more awareness. The communication came up, and why you weren't choosing to communicate everything, because it came up last week that you would actually be a pretty good poker player because you weren't going to show all your cards and be like, you know, you're pretty under the radar feelings wise, because you learned in high school that less is more emotionally, right?
Right.
And we're going to continue to explore whether that's serving you today, but that came up as food for thought, right? Now this one that's popping in with the infatuation, so why you have some relationship issues and how to move past them. Okay, so here's what's coming to me about this. I think we're establishing with even the short-term relationships, the marriage and the relationship now, there's a theme or element of crush, infatuation going on. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And when I look up infatuation, to inspire or possess with a foolish or unreasoning passion, to affect with folly, make foolish or fatuous. Okay, so So, and there's no judgment here, because we're going to look, this is a deeper thing. We're going to go back in childhood. I'm going to ask why you continue to either put rose-colored glasses on or choose not to see some things that you could see. I almost get that you really, like, do you like roller coasters? Do you like carnivals? Do you like excitement and adventure? Are you kind of one of those?
Yeah, I don't like being bored.
Okay. Okay. A boring relationship might be good right now, though, right? As long as he loved you.
I know. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, follow me here, because if you can begin to see it, again, I'm going to call on any kind of healing to occur. Anything can be healed with awareness. It's what we're not aware of that continues to haunt us on some levels. Would you agree? If on some subconscious level, you have a message that is telling you that a normal love life is boring, or let's see what else, or I keep getting you really focusing on what it is that you want to see in a person, but really dismissing the other parts, like, oh, he's got to go to college. Like, there's a denial that you're carrying in all of these relationships. And I feel on a